with my draw knife today, taking some bark off this piece of shagbark hickory on the right and white ash on the left, hoping to get a few more staves to make some homemade primitive bows. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about some of the cool yields that you can get on the quote-unquote off-season of winter to both make money, save money, get food, just all around get to some things that you didn't get to during the year. So stick around. So many years ago, I made this bow. This is my first bow that I made out of maple, and it shoots really nice. I just kind of wanted something to mess around with. I made some arrows with turkey tail fletching on them, and it shoots really, really nice. So I want to take it a step up now with these couple staves. I'll probably get a couple out of each one and really make some beautiful bows that could serve many purposes. We could get extra food if we wanted to go that route, or there's a market for these sort of things. People will buy these both as nice bows or little display pieces. So that's a great yield right there. Rather than send these to firewood, or they're nice straight pieces, you could lay them down for raised beds like we're fond of doing with pine, birch, things that rot down quick. But these, they're both great woods. So that's an avenue right there. There's a market for cool little woodworking things. Even this walking stick that is another piece of maple wrapped in the clutches of a bittersweet vine. Unpeel that vine, free it up. There's a unique little piece. Someone could buy that on a farm stand. Just little ways that you can get another yield out of wood products that you might not think of. Let's take a look at a few others. One of the core principles of any permaculture system is the concept of stacking functions and getting as many yields out of your products as you can. Now you can see here, these trees are really starting to interfere with our cables running all the way to our house. In a windstorm, sometimes the power flickers. We can see these rubbing up against them. Maybe in years past I might have cut them and again sent them to firewood or laid them down for raised beds. But this is sassafras. Really nice straight pieces of it too. And sassafras is pretty rot resistant. Not as much as like a black locust or cedar, so I wouldn't use this in the ground. But just so happens I'm also trying to build a round pole arbor. So these would work great as both the little girt header board pieces or as the rafters of it. They're really long, really straight, very durable, and there are a lot of them here. So rather than just cutting them down, sending them off, see there's another one there, a few more over here. I mean, they just keep going. Those ones aren't necessarily in the way, so we can leave those for now. But anything that's interfering with these poles, we have beautiful building material, and I don't have to tell you the price of lumber right now is ridiculous. So this will save many, many hundreds of dollars. And then the smaller branches, we can do a chop and drop somewhere, either leave them here or bring them out to the orchard and let them rot down as mulch there. So it's a great function stacking right there. Days are getting warmer, nights are still chilly, and the sap is starting to flow. We have a few that we tapped this morning, just starting to flow really nice with the sun hitting them. And I don't have to tell you what a premium product maple syrup can be if you boil it down. That can make a good amount of money. Wow, that one's almost full. And it could also save a lot of money, because if you're like us and you use maple syrup a lot, you go through it pretty quick. So if you could have your own source of it, that is wonderful. There's another one over there, so we're going to be swimming in sap pretty soon. If any of you are familiar with some of our other videos, you've no doubt seen our log-lined beds, which is pretty common with a lot of people, but it still blows my mind how many people will spend hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars on the cedar lumber raised beds when we have free material for the taking around most of us. And not only that, but if you use something like pine or birch, which we use a lot of that, they'll rot down a lot quicker and be fertilizer for the edges of the beds, and as well as acting as a moisture sink. In times of drought, there'll be moisture under these, so you won't have to water as much. And just to use things like that, it might not be rot resistant, but now use the fact that it does rot to your advantage to save some money. I feel like I don't even have to mention the obvious fuel savings you can have from burning wood in the house, but I do want to comment on using the leftovers. So we have biochar here. So it's not burnt down all the way to ash, which is also useful, but this is a wonderful product. Will soak up nutrients and water long term, will last in your soil nearly forever. Just pure carbon at this point. So it's a wonderful byproduct. Not only do you save on heating costs by heating your house with wood, but if you utilize this effectively, you'll definitely save on fertilizer costs in the garden. I hadn't even thought of putting this in, but as I was walking up here on this log, nature showed me just what else you can do with wood products to make or save money and get food. So we have mushrooms growing out of this log. Now I'm not going to eat these, but it just gave me the obvious idea of starting spores in a log. You know, a lot of people do it with shiitake mushrooms or oyster mushrooms, turkey tails. That's quite an avenue right there. You can get a pretty good market and pay a premium for some mushrooms. Just amazes me how it feeds right out of that log. Thanks for taking a walk around, guys. I do plan on making a series of videos detailing how I like to make these bows. So once I start working these pieces, if there's any interest, mention it in the comments and I'll try to keep you posted on what I do with the bows. It'll probably take a little bit because it's a long process and these still have some drying out to do, but it's a pretty cool process. So thanks for watching, guys.